Hey Veggie Mamas, April here. I just wanted to follow up on how I'm doing with my 15-day raw vegan challenge. There's a bunch of things I want to touch on in this video. One thing I really recommend is that anyone who's thinking about adopting more of a raw vegan lifestyle or even going fruitarian should definitely try to be vegan first. You should get as much literature on just being vegan if you're new to veganism and this whole lifestyle, because going raw is really challenging if you're not used to just eating unprocessed foods completely and eating foods that are just live in general. If you're just one of those people who went right from SAD, the standard American diet, right into, or, having your first plate of a bunch of different types of fruit or vegetables, if you're just someone who's never been into that until now because you want to you want to improve your health and you want to lose weight and you want to feel better and you want to change your lifestyle, then I do not recommend just jumping from SAD, the standard American diet, right into a raw vegan lifestyle or even a fruitarian lifestyle. These are very challenging. There's a lot of detoxing that goes on. There's a lot of different types of things, symptoms that you might experience when you are changing from such a drastic way of eating from one thing to another. You want to make sure that you make that transition as smoothly as possible. Because even I, who's been vegan for 4 years, has been struggling with trying to be more of a raw vegan and trying to also possibly become fruitarian someday. Now, I hear the two are interchangeable, raw vegan and fruitarian, but in my opinion, they're not 100% the same. Raw vegans tend to eat things that are higher in fat, like nuts and seeds and things like that. They're big into almonds and cashews and cashew butter, and they really get into still the art of cooking. Like most of the raw things that I've seen online are about like cooking raw dishes that are very time consuming and exotic, and they look good and tasty, but they're not necessarily going to get you where you want to go to be like to lose weight or to feel higher energy. Or I mean, it's definitely better than the standard American diet, but it might not give you all the results that you want right away. Not that necessarily that fruitarianism or eating more fruit will either. Some people, one of the things of the detox is that some people experience weight gain when they eat more fruit. For me, for instance, I have experienced a little weight gain in this time, just 2 pounds, but I think a lot of it has to do with hormones, age, activity level. If you don't have a lot of time to exercise, then, I don't necessarily recommend smashing in, a whole bunch of fruit calories, sugar calories. Not that it's something that's going to hurt you necessarily. It's just that I don't know how your body's going to react to it, and everybody's body works a little bit differently and it has its own blueprint. So I would say at the end of this, no matter what, always go with what's going to work for you long term, what fits your lifestyle, what you can access readily. With a fruitarian diet, you have to have huge bulks of fruit and vegetables in order to make it work long term. So you have to keep that in mind, that it's not just like you will get sick of running to the store just getting like 2 things of bananas, or 2 barrels of bananas, or getting little bits here, little bits there. It'll just get old right away. You have to keep into account that if you're going to do that and you're going to go 110 on being just a fruitarian live food eater, that you are going to have to like really factor all that into the equation. You may have to buy some processed vegan foods for them, because if you have small children, or whatever, you might not feel like you want them to adopt this lifestyle yet until you know more about it yourself. So I would definitely 110% recommend that you become, if you have never done anything in the vegan realm, that you become vegan first. And like I said, I've been vegan for 4 years, and that's really overall what I can see works for me the best. As a mother, as a wife, those are the things that I recommend that you do, because if you're not ready for this lifestyle, it can really get you confused and make you think that this is the only thing you can do, and that you can't, there's no alternatives to just being raw vegan. There's definitely alternatives. You can still be healthy and have some things that are processed foods. It doesn't all have to be 100% live, because these people that are making these brands like Earth Balance Butter, even tofu, different ways tofu is done, they know that, not everybody's going to be like raw vegan or, fruitarian. So they're making these foods so that, people that are transitioning from SAD can easily transition in, still have that kind of feeling like they're eating something familiar to them, but it's not so painful, at first. It's like anything, when you're getting off it, you have to wean off. You can't just go cold turkey. And the people that do, most of them do go back to eating a SAD diet, or they go back to, just feeling like, oh, veganism isn't for me, and they start boohooing the whole lifestyle and saying that this isn't just, it's just not right for me. So, rushing into anything is never good. You can't rush into quitting smoking or quitting caffeine. All of these things take time. It takes going through the detox. You just unfortunately cannot avoid the detox symptoms. Like for me, when I first quit caffeine, I had really bad headaches. I went back a couple million times. Even after I quit, I went back a couple million times and just kept drinking coffee, and felt really, at a certain point, you do start to feel really down about going back, because you've gone forward, and going back is like, oh my God, I'm starting all over again. That means I have to go through the detox all over again. So you definitely don't want to experience that eating. So I would say rent videos like Forks Over Knives. You don't even have to rent it now. You can stream it on YouTube. I would say watch Vegucated, also on YouTube. Earthlings is a great one. I haven't watched that yet. It's very intense. It's very, there's some things about it that are really hard to watch, about what they do to animals and things like that. So, but that's one that you can watch. Also, a lot of the fruitarians and raw vegans have adopted the 80-10-10 lifestyle. So that's a book that you will want to pick up if you're really serious about being raw vegan, because it is basically like their main book that they read when any of them begin, is 80-10-10. And then there's all kinds of people out there doing it on YouTube. So you want to check out their sites and get some feedback from them, because they know exactly what they're doing. I would just say be careful. Always question everything. Use your own common sense. And if people don't like questions, then it's probably not the right thing, because you should always be able to ask questions in any situation. Don't just trust it because, someone says, this is going to make you look like this, or this is going to make you feel like this, or all of the above. You have to go off of how you feel and whether or not it works for your lifestyle. And that's the only thing any of us can do. So these are the things that I wanted to touch on. As far as my own personal detox, I've so far just eating more raw foods, not even just smashing in carbs and smashing in bananas and, all kinds of live food. Not even doing it to the extent of some of the other people out there that are doing it, but just even the little bit more that I've been doing, like maybe 5 bananas a day and, a lot more fruit a day and a lot more veggies a day. I've experienced, in the beginning I was having digestive issues, because my body was trying to clean itself out. And then now I'm kind of about to have the time of the month, so I don't, things can change there. You might actually start seeing yourself gain a little bit of weight, because you might actually be just experience premenstrual, symptoms and stuff like that. So that can, another thing you have to keep into account is all these different things that we as females go through can really like throw you off a little bit in terms of where you're at. So don't panic, if you are doing well on a raw vegan lifestyle. Don't panic if you see your weight go fluctuate a little bit, because you might just be going through some hormonal things that don't have anything to do with what you're eating. So that can get really complicated. So you want to just wait it out as long as possible, as long as you're not gaining some god awful amount of weight, or as long as you're feeling good and you're feeling like you can still be active and you can still do your daily life and it works with your lifestyle, then by all means keep being raw vegan, keep being fruitarian. But if you don't feel like it, you have something to fall back on. You can still be vegan. You can still have cooked food all day if raw food isn't working for you. You can still have tofu scramble for breakfast and smart bacon, whatever makes you feel good. It's all about how you feel, and because no diet is tailor made for one person, in my opinion. Because I think that we're all different in every other way, so why would we be the same in the way we eat? The only thing I do think is that everybody should be vegan. How they're vegan, that is a totally different thing. So on that note, I just want to wrap it up. Oh, and I just wanted to mention one other thing about my detox. The other thing was that, I was experiencing a little bit more fatigue than I wanted to, because I was putting in a lot more fruit in my body during the day. I also experienced, just kind of feeling a little bit like this is a long process. It's more complicated than I thought. My skin looked a little bit clearer after a couple days, which was a good upside to it. And I felt like it was definitely something that I wanted to do just in my own way, not the way I was hearing other people were doing it, or how different people that are in the world of raw veganism and vegetarianism are doing it. I wanted to do it my own style. So that was like, okay, I'm not going to trip off of what other people are doing. I'm just going to do what feels good for April. So that's another thing I want to note, that I don't want to be hung up on all the details. I just want to do how it feels good for me. So you have to tailor make these things for yourself. So anyway, to wrap it up, I just want to say that keep trying whatever you're doing. Just keep going at it. Don't give up. Don't feel like you have to go back to SAD to, because everything else just feels like it's not real, or it feels like it's not working for you. Just letting you know that it's really not. It's the greatest decision you'll ever make, is to just be vegan, whether you're raw vegan or fruitarian, that's all in the details, and you will work your way into that if that's something that you want. But don't feel the pressure because like a size 2 and they're fruitarian, they're raw vegan, because they might have had a lot more experience, or maybe jumping into it was a lot easier for them based on their age or their lifestyle or their experiences. So always go off of that first, before you don't know that person, you don't know what they've gone through, you just see the final results. So you have to use your own best judgment and question everything. So I'm going to leave it on that note. I would like to do my next video on some of the vegan products that I use. Right now I'm a little low actually on some of them, but I will just touch on some of the vegan products that I do like to use, and some of the things that I plan on getting in the future, and just share that with you, because I think it's really important that if you are becoming vegan and adapting this lifestyle, that there are, you should kind of try to make everything in your life more plant-based, more environmental, more animal-friendly, because it's an embodiment of a life. That's why they call it a lifestyle, because it's not just what you eat, it's your attitude that way. So fashion is something that, I'd like to cover, and, cosmetics, skincare, stuff like that. I'm still transitioning out of a lot of the stuff that I used to have that wasn't vegan. So that is it for now. I'm going to wrap it up here, and I hope that you check out my next video, and I will see you soon. So just keep trying and keep on being a fit veggie mama.